We are talking to young people. Most of them are unemployed. Most of them have no jobs. Most of them are even struggling to actually live. And what we are telling them that in spite of those challenges, in spite of those struggles, let us not lose hope in our country. Where there are challenges, there are opportunities. And my message to the young people this morning is, seize this opportunity, seize this moment. Come out in large numbers, register, and come 2027, vote the leaders who are going to move this country from where it is to another level. Kenya is a great nation. If we get good leaders who are not going to steal from the public, who are going to take care of the public resources.
Young people are here to speak matters that concern them, especially when it comes to cost of living, when it comes to young people and unemployment, when it comes to young people and their participation in public spaces, and knowing that in shy of 18 months, we will be having the general elections that are slated for August of 2027, and the time for us to begin conversations around that is today, knowing that IEBC is doing the continuous voter registration, but we're also seeing challenges that young people have accessing these registration venues and being able to participate, to register as voters. And we saw also what happened with the elections in 2022, where just under 40% of the total vote cast was constituted of young people. So we are here today to speak about these issues and ensure that ActionAid supports young people in developing this electoral program that then supports them moving forward, and not just with their registration, not just with their participation as voters, but also to engage actually as candidates who are offering themselves for leadership. There are myriad challenges that young people have faced in this country. I've just spoken about a few: the cost of living, issues around unemployment. Kenya has this endemic corruption that wherever you walk, then people want a bribe from you to access basic items, even like your voter's ID, your national ID, to access jobs and so on. People demand to be bribed. Public officials demand to be bribed, and it's becoming a cost that many people are not able to meet. The other thing is there are challenges with these registration processes. The venues for the voter registration, the continuous voter registration that's being done by IEBC are quite far away. And so we also demand then that IEBC begins a process that allows young people and allows majority of Kenyans, including women, to be able to access these venues and to be able to register as voters in a manner that is facilitated, in a manner that does not have many barriers, as it were. We are concerned about the violence that we see. The current campaigns for the by-elections which are happening this week have been very violent. There have been cases of gunshots. There have been goons for hire that are being used by politicians across the divide. There is deliberate voter suppression that we're also seeing in the areas where these by-elections are taking place. And that already foretells that the 2027 elections, if nothing is done to ensure that we are ready, then we will have a problem in 2027. So we have to start today. We call upon government, and particularly the National Police Service, IEBC, Judiciary, the Registrar of Political Parties, Parliament in itself, to ensure that mechanisms are put in place to have a free, fair process for the current vote, but also a free, fair process even as we move towards 2027. This is our country. This is the only country that we have. We cannot afford to lose it. And ActionAid is here committed to stand with Kenyans, committed to do what is required as our civic duty to ensure that processes that we are participating in, then there are processes which are democratic, they are transparent, they are not only seen to be fair, but they're actually free and fair.
Coming to this space, which is the Good Governance Festival 2025, it's a big thing to me because as a youth, we are occupying a major part of this country, a major part of this society, and it's so unfair and really sad that we are not really included in most of the spaces, including governance. And so this is a step forward for us. It's a wake-up call that also the youth, we can take part in governance, we can take up the leadership positions, and we can do it. So it's a really engaging and really insightful event.
Ningependa kuuliza vijana wenzangu waweze kuungana pamoja ili kuweza kujenga Kenya, lakini wachukue kura kwa wingi na vile vile wasitumike katika vurugu ama siasa mbaya, kwa sababu siasa mbaya ndio inaleta mabadiliko mabaya ya nchi na viongozi wanachukua kama advantage kukandamiza vijana pamoja na community mzima. Asanteni.
Gen Z, kuna kitu tuliambiwa isikwe tu Gen Z pekee, it should be Gen zote. So we have to be inclusive, and the main objective of this Good Governance Festival is about amplifying inclusiveness and accountability. So we want our voices to be heard. We want those leaders and institutions to be accountable, to explain what they're doing with everything they have. And I believe my takeaway from this Good Governance Festival is that I will be as a registered voter, and I'll choose wisely. And also another thing we learned is that in our country today we have less women leaders. Like the MCAs, we only have 12. So the youth, young people like me here, and also the women must be included in decision making, and it will start with transparency and equity for all. So yeah.
It's also a good platform for people to share with the experiences through stories zao, venye vitu zina happen at the community level, kila place ya msee anatoka. So kushare hizo experiences ni really important, na ni platform fiti sana for global platform na ACTIONAID pia ku bring mavijana together to amplify their voices. So in terms of leadership, in terms of governance, wako able to amplify voices.